Hello guys and gals, and welcome to another episode of Unique Items. Today we're going to be going over a unique item which you may have never seen before, or not even have known existed, because, well, it's bugged. Due to bugs in item generation mechanism, the armor is relatively unfindable in multiplayer in Hellfire, and is virtually impossible to find in single player, so the only place that you may have ever seen it is online, or if somebody cheated it in. Because it just generally would not drop in single player and it would not drop in Hellfire. Now, if you were playing online multiplayer, there was a possibility for it to fall, but that was the only place, really, that it would fall. And this is a full plate mail. The armor class on this is actually 100, which is the highest armor class, I think, for any item in Diablo 1. But unfortunately, the highest base armor class does not necessarily mean that it is a good armor class, because there are things like the godly modifier, which take the base and then enhance it. So even though 100 is the highest base that you can possibly have, it's not the highest that you can have total with things like the godly modifiers and whatnot. It is indestructible, and it does require 90 strength to put it on.
Friend. Stay a while and listen.
And it is known as the Demonspike Coat. The Demonspike Coat is actually really cool. It has 100 armor class on it, which is 25 higher than I think the highest full plate mail that you can get, which I think is 75. I could be wrong on that. It might be a little bit higher than 75, like 76 or something. But I'm pretty sure that it's at least around 25 higher than the full plate mail. It does have -6 damage from enemies, which is kind of nice. -6 damage from enemies is the bonus that reduces physical damage incoming by that number exactly. So if a monster hits you for, 10, then he's only going to do 4, and so forth and so on. Now, a lot of monsters in Hell difficulty will do upwards of 100 damage per strike, so unfortunately -6 isn't amazing by itself, but if combined with other pieces of equipment, can have a more significant effect. There is, however, a better armor that you could potentially use if you're trying to stack negative damage from enemies, which is known as the carapace, scavenger's carapace, I believe is what it's called. Yeah, the scavenger's carapace, which has -15 on it, if that's what you're trying to do, if you're trying to go that particular direction. Scavenger's carapace might be a better choice than Demonspike Coat. Demonspike Coat also comes with +10 strength, which is really useful for just giving more damage and having to put on items, although you need 90 strength to put on this piece of equipment, so good luck, utilizing that 10 strength to equip anything, because you're going to need 90 to equip this. It also is indestructible, which is all very nice. I don't really like it when my items break in Diablo, because when they break, they disappear forever. It is resist fire 50%, which is also pretty nice, so it's going to give you pretty close to your cap, only 25 shy of your cap for fire res, which is really nice. One little like extra res or ring or shield can usually cap you off in terms of that. In general, it's a pretty nice armor. It's going to give you the really nice full plate mail look, so it's going to give you that helmet under the arm. Really nice kite shield, like plate mail, scale mail kind of a look, because it is one of the higher tier classes of armors. And then, how much does it sell for? Probably a lot, right? I would assume a lot. Oh yeah, 62,793 gold for the Demonspike Coat, which is kind of nutty. That's kind of nutty. That's expensive, is what that is. You do save on repair costs, which is kind of nice. And that's one thing I think I forgot to mention about indestructible items in some of the previous videos, is that when you're dealing with gold in general, like having indestructible items can definitely be nice from that perspective, because it's going to give you the ability to just not have to worry about repair costs. And some of the higher items, the ones that are like really good items, like godly plates of the whale and whatnot, can have some pretty hefty repair costs. So do keep that in mind when you're thinking about like just low-level farming and not having to worry about all your equipment breaking all the time. I think that's pretty much it for this particular armor. Very difficult to find in single player in Hellfire. It is a decent armor, but not necessarily the best armor in the game. Can definitely be very useful in normal as well as nightmare difficulty, but might start to fall off in Hell difficulty when the monster's armor class, or rather 2-hit chance, is challenging your armor class in ways, and you just happen to need higher armor class than what this one is offering you, which would be like a godly full plate at that point. I think next on the list is the helmets. I think we're moving into the helmets at this point. So we're going to be going into the Harlequin Crest Shaco next. Yeah. It's not a Shaco in this game, and it's not quite as good as the Harlequin Crest Shaco from D2, but it does exist in this game, and we're going to talk about it. So without further ado, thank you for watching, and keep watching.